Gibbs asked me whether I wanted to review the KingKong Tiny 6, and I had a look around. There's loads of other of the techie guys that have reviewed it, and they've done all their super duper stuff and run through all the specs and everything. This is really, I'm going to aim this review at little muppets like me. So the reason I think you would buy this is that you don't have a Tyrannus or anything else to link up to it. You want to have a go with a little bit of acro. You want to have a go with a little tiny whoop. You want to have spare batteries with you. You want to literally just buy a kit, you can get up and fly. And that's how I'm going to test this. I'm going to see whether or not we can get up and fly straight away without going into Betaflight, without worrying about specs, without worrying about PIDs and everything like that. So that's the way I'm going to run this review. So let's see how we get on, shall we? So let's take a look at they've sort of wound up being called the lunchbox, and basically that's what it is. It's just a little plastic case that everything comes in. I've had other ones of my racers that come in these lunchboxes, and they come not assembled. You put the props on, then you can't put it back in the lunchbox, to me, which sort of breaks the point of it. I'd rather they gave you a bigger lunchbox with things assembled. I like to store things back in what they came with, because then everything stays together. Just the way I like to do it. So I'm going to pop this open, and then we're actually into the main body, and you can see straight away I'm going to be thrilled with this. I enjoy flying. I don't enjoy charging batteries. I don't enjoy running back to get battery packs and everything else. So this comes complete with 5 batteries. Now I would call that a ready to fly system. A ready to fly system that comes with 1 battery. Yes, it's ready to fly once. This is ready to fly 5 times. So I'm impressed with it already. I'll run through the actual spec on the quad as we go through, and like I say, it's not going to be a techie spec, it'll just be a quick whiz through it. Like I say, you got the 5 250 milliamp single cell batteries there. We've got a little prop removal tool, which is always handy, and that saves wrenching your motors, and we'll have a look at that a little bit later on. You've got some small pack of spares there, spacers and everything it looks like, and little grommets for the motors as well, so that's rather good. Sort of holds the cables on and everything on the motor, so I'll show you that in a second. You've got a complete set, 3 spare sets of props, so that's really good. With a ducted fan system, you don't usually break them that much, but it's lovely to have them, again, ready to fly. And then you've got 3 extra spare bodies as well for it, so you can change them into any sort of funky colour you like. And then this I really like, again, the ready to fly system. This is the charging station for all 5 batteries. Quick look around the quad itself, and it's a really nice, obviously tiny whoop, sort of ducted fan, tiny little quad really. 65mm motor centre to motor centre across the diagonal, and it's called a Tiny 6, I presume, because it's got 6 15 motors, so they're 6mm diameter and 15mm long. So I really don't think you're going to ever damage this. Having said that, I'll probably louse it right up on the first flight, but it really does feel nice and robust, but a little bit flexible as well. You've got spare props and you've got spare canopies and everything as well with it, so that's rather good. And it is just so light in the hand, you hardly know you've picked it up. So just pop it on the scales. So, and remember, this has got the receiver on it already, so it's already built in because it's the ready to fly one. So we're just on 21 grams, and then we'll add the battery on, which takes it up to 28 grams basically. So I always think this is amazing that you can actually have something that flies with 4 motors, a camera, a receiver, a transmitter, you know, propellers and everything else, and you're just over 20 grams. It's just incredible, I think. Really nice looking little system. Like I say, you do have the micro USB connector there, so we could run it through Betaflight. If you're a techie guy, then you'll be changing the PIDs, I guess, and stuff like that. But I usually find I'm usually quite happy at my level of flying to get out there and fly with them, usually as set on any of the ones that I've had. I must admit, so far I've not noticed any problems with them, so hopefully this will be the same. It's an F3 flight controller, and it's got the video transmitter in there, and it's brushed ESCs obviously because they're brushed motors. You've got 800 TVL camera there, and it's 150 degrees, so it's a nice little wide angle lens. I like them a bit wider, I must admit, like that. I know some people like to fly with like 90mm ones, 90 degree ones, but I like that. And you can change the actual channels on the actual VTX. So you've got 16 channels on there, and it's 25 milliwatt. I don't think you're ever going to fly this very far away from you, and certainly for me it'll be just around the garden and possibly some indoor flights as well, if the missus is out. And on to charging the batteries, I really like this little setup. I think it's brilliant. And like I say, I really do like a sort of ready to fly system for somebody who's just getting into quads. I think this is great. The 5 batteries you can charge up individually, or in 2 or 3 or whatever, or obviously all 5 at once. Just be a little bit careful with the connector, because it is a very tiny connector here anyway, and obviously don't wrench it up and down, you're going to damage that, but that's obvious. It simply pops in individually, as you see, and this actual charger comes with, takes 2 different size connectors, so if you've got a different quad with a different size connector, you could probably charge it on here as well, so long as it's a single cell. It charges at 2 different rates, 200 milliamp hour or 500 milliamp hour. Now you should really, for longevity of the battery, charge it up at 200 milliamp hour. It would be the recommended, or 0.25 of an amp, or 250 milliamp hour would be the maximum. That's what you're supposed to do, is 1-to-1 with the charging. But a lot of my micro racers come with a charger that's way bigger. I mean, some of them they're 600 milliamp hour, but they come with a 1 amp or 1000 milliamp hour, or even a 1500 milliamp hour charger. So, and the manufacturers are supplying those. So I think you'd probably be fine, but they do advise you to charge it on the lower one. It's obviously going to charge it twice as quick as well, so it means you're back up in the air. So that's that trade-off of how long do you want your batteries to last to how long you want to keep flying during the day. So I'm going to see how it goes. I'm pretty sure it shouldn't damage it that much, but if you want longevity, 200 obviously. So simply, like I say, plug them in. And the other thing I really like about this, you've got different methods of charging. So yeah, you can use a micro USB into here, and I use power banks quite often when I'm out and about. They're absolutely brilliant, I think. So just simply plug that in, and you know when it's charging as well, because you get a very bright green LED, and that goes out when you finish charging. And you can just add batteries to it. So you could be flying, add your first battery in, don't know how long you're going to do on your next flight, whether you're going hunting for your quad if you've lost it or anything, then pop your next one on. You could virtually sort of keep cycling, and you could virtually fly constantly. I like that idea. And then simply just add another battery to it. So when this one's charged, you just take them out, sort of thing. I think that's absolutely superb. Using a micro USB system as well, of course, it comes out to a USB, so you can use that on your mains adapter that comes with a phone perhaps, or you could use it on your laptop, or you could charge it up in your car, even better. So again, you can be out and about doing it. And at this end, there's an XT60, which is a very common plug for larger batteries. I've got a 3000 milliamp hour one here, which has got the XT60 connector. You can use it 2-cell to 4-cell, and this is a 3-cell. And again, just simply plug that in, and there we are, we're charging back up again. So I really like this system. I think it's absolutely superb. Okay, and onto the transmitter, and it really feels good in the hand, and it feels good to actually operate as well. It's a really nice level of transmitter, I think, and really simple. There's no confusing LCDs or anything like that. It's got 2 switches, your arm and disarm up here, and then you've got your channel switch, which will change it between stabilised and acro, and hopefully horizon in the middle there as well. It's obviously not going to be altitude hold, so this stick is free, and it is a mode 2 flight mode, so it throttles on this side and you yaw, and then you pitch forward, back, left and right, and then your trim switches as well. So a really nice simple transmitter, but it's actually got an actual transmitter wire running through here. Your actual antenna actually does go through there. Now a lot of them, this is fake, especially around sort of this sort of price. They put them on, but they actually don't do anything. So in the back with the battery bay, you've got actually a battery sort of cage or holder, and it's got some foam on the bottom there, which gives you a really big battery bay. Hopefully you can see that in there. I've just used the AA's. I use rechargeables. I don't fly very far from home, and I don't have to worry about it too much, so I've always got some spare with me, and I just keep an eye on them. But this one's quite nice. Actually, you can take the plug out that holds the battery cage there, and then you've got access to this plug here, and it says down in there that the input can be between 4.5 and 14 volts, so you could use use some of your LiPo batteries in there if that's the sort of thing you want to do, and it's a huge area to put it in. Okay, first flight, I'm just going to give it a go line of sight, and like I say, I haven't put this on a computer or anything else. I'm just going to see how we get on here. It's, I think it's a self-binding system actually, from what I can understand, so let's just plug that into there. All ready to go, got flashing LEDs going on in there, got the red one pulsing on, and the blue as well, as you can see. So just going to flick it onto ARM, and we're live. Hey, that's cool. I'm going to start it in 1, which I assume is going to be stabilized. 2, I hope, will be something like horizon, and then 3, acro. Let's see how we get on, shall we? It's obviously a brush motors, as we've discussed, so it's not going to have a lot of kick out, but not bad for sure. Whoa, 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 whoa. So there we go. It's quite nice actually. So this is in stabilised mode. Yeah, it's a nice little flyer. We do love flying. Easy pleased. Hey, that's really nice. God, that gives some angle. That's got some pitch on it and some roll. Whoa, that is really nice. Wait, I reckon I can almost flip that. Oh yeah, easy flippable. Manually flip. There we go. The flips are quite nice actually. And that's in 2, so hopefully, are we in acro now? No, we've still got self-leveling. Oh, what a shame. That means we've got to take it into Betaflight to get the acro on it. And horizon mode. What a shame. I was really hoping I was going to bring you guys, you know, for the fact that it would just do it. Wait, there we go. Battery's gone. Hey, I've got 4 other ones. I'm straight back out here, I can tell you. Okay, so back out with a fresh battery, just going to see how fast it does go. The pitch on it is incredible. And very flyable. Lovely. You do have to watch it with the ducted fans and the little tiny whoops. If you've got everything going on it, you can run out of power, but this one's doing alright, I think. Yeah, there you go. I mean, it's only a 250 milliamp hour battery. Whee! Gorgeous. Love it. We do 2 or 3 flips with it, no problem at all. Love that pitch on it. Whoa! I tell you what, I'm not too disappointed it's not flying in acro at the moment actually, because it actually just damn good fun with the stabilisation on it. Way. Oh, just so safe as well. That is seriously good fun. Okay, so I've gone into Betaflight here. You just need to launch the app on your computer, and you need a USB to micro USB adapter, and then we can just plug it into the bottom of the actual quad itself. And then that should connect automatically. I've got auto connect enabled on mine, and there we go. And if I move the quad around, you can see on the graphics there that it's all working well. So I really don't want to touch anything in here apart from just to make that switch work. That's all I'm after doing, so that I can fly in acro mode. So let's go into the receiver itself, and I've not turned that on yet, so I'm going to turn that on now. We get a beep beep. Make sure it's disarmed, obviously. Well, we haven't got the battery in, so it really wouldn't make any difference, but it's a good practice. You should usually remove the props, but on this there's no problem. And it actually works without the battery being connected, so that's good. Some quads it doesn't. If I move this up a bit, you can see the effect. So if I go roll, it'll roll round, pitch forward, and it really does pitch. And then
roll, sorry, pitch and yaw, so it does everything basically. So exactly what we want. And then I'm going to go into modes, and we've got 2 switches on this transmitter, and let's just flick the arm and disarm off, and that's moved them both, so they're both auxiliary 1, and that's basically where the error lies. It's not doing anything to actually put it into horizon or acro mode. So what we need to do is, I want to use the auxiliary 2, which should then give us, yeah, that's it. Now I'm moving the, they call it channel 6 basically, auxiliary 2, move it up and down, and we can change it now to what it's actually doing. So in angle mode, I want it up, and this is position 1, and I'm just going to slide it along. So we come up to there, so we're definitely in the orange there with that. If I flick it into position 2, that brings it down to this second point here. I'm going to add the range of horizon and also put that on auxiliary 2. And now, so auxiliary 2 puts it into horizon, into angle, and then that should put it into full acro if we come over to there. I'm assuming I haven't got another range here to add, so I presume that's what it's going to do. Make sure you click the save button, and that saves it back to it. And then we should all be good to go. So I'm just going to disconnect, and then I'm going to reconnect just to make sure that did work. Go straight into modes. Yep, it's remembered it, so that's good. Brilliant. So I'm sorry I had to take you into Betaflight there, but it's not my doing actually. So and that really is a very simple area into Betaflight to do, really not that difficult, but they could do it at the factory as well. So okay, let's get it outside and see what it flies like.
Okay, starting to lose light now, which is a real shame. Mind you, you see that the LEDs work. We're definitely getting some effect here, because when if I turn that off arm, if I turn the switches, you're getting lights changing in there, so that is good. Another good sign. So, all right, make sure we're still on. Whoops, yep. I just can't get over how fast this thing goes for what it is. I mean, this is brilliant, I think. So it's definitely working on stabilization. Let's try it in horizon mode. Oh yeah. So in horizon mode, it can we can do sort of flips under power. There we go. So when it gets to, I'll explain that when we get it. It's really not very happy in horizon mode for flipping. It sort of mucks up the gyro as well, actually, strangely. Yeah, it does do it though. It's definitely flying in horizon, and then yay, we're flying in acro. Not that I really like flying in acro line of sight, but hey, we're doing it. Yeah, that's cool. This thing's so fast for what it is. I love it. Gorgeous. Yeah, you see it's definitely sitting in acro mode because it's still saying at the angle. There we go. Hey, it's nice and recoverable as well. I like it. This transmitter's really nice. Well, that's back into stabilised mode. I'm off to get my FPV goggles before we lose all the light.
Okay, I gave up on the weather yesterday, and it's a much nicer day today, as you can see. So let's see how we get on, shall we? So first of all, in stabilised mode, oh, it's just lovely. That was really nice. Way cool stuff. Really good. Okay, so I'm going to pop it into horizon. So we should be able to do the flips now. There we go. I mean, how simple a flip do you want? Probably even do a forward one. There we go. Even I'm losing orientation in the garden. Let's take some doing. There we go. Yeah, lovely. Really nice flyer. Really smooth. Well, winter. or autumn in the Highlands. Lots of twigs. Yeah, really nice and smooth. Cool, okay, let's try acro then. Yep, we're definitely in acro, and that is really nice again. Lovely fly. Wish I could tilt that camera up, and we might be able to find a way of doing it, because it's I'm just straining trying to look up. As soon as you pitch forward, you sort of lose your view. Lovely, really nice. Oh, this thing flies gorgeous. Yeah, look at this, it's so controllable. Perfect. Okay, let's give it the hard challenge through the woods. And the signal breakup is not bad either. Actually, I didn't check what channel I was on, to be honest. I just let it auto search, so that's pretty good. And it's not even got an antenna, it's just literally that little bit of wire. Superb. Whoa, lovely, really nice. God, yeah. Yeah, it hasn't got any stabilizer. I thought it was stabilising them, but it's not. Whoops. Whoa, do you know, I think I knocked that actually off. Yeah, I did. Look at that. How cool is that? Robust little thing, isn't it? And down through my Death Star bit. I think we're losing a little bit of power, to be honest. A little bit of control. Well, I don't know. Superb. Really good fun. Oh, mind the wires. Whoa, yeah. And even recoverable.
Okay, for the summary, I'm going to blether about this for quite a while, so what I'm going to do is shrink this down and then put some FPV, because I really did keep flying and flying and flying and just kept charging those batteries up. Really good fun. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, whether in stabilised mode, the horizon mode. Seemed to work after that first initial one where it was sort of mucking up the gyro a bit. I don't know why. Since then, it was absolutely fine. Did a few other flights with it, and the acro mode was brilliant. Brilliant. I think it's great all round. If you're new to flying, this would be a pretty good quad, I think. Probably not bother with the FPV, just start off learning to fly with it. It's a great transmitter. You got loads of batteries there. You can fly indoors or outdoors pretty safely, so I can't really see where you would go far wrong. Then when you want to develop the hobby, and I assure you it is totally addictive, this hobby, you then move on to flying in horizon, but probably just bump straight up to the acro, have a little go with that, then you get yourself a pair of goggles, and then you can move on from there flying FPV, and this would do it all. Couple of niggly little bits. Did drop the signal quite a bit, but then it's only got this as an antenna, so in normal proximity it's fine, but I've got a metal garage and there's obviously cars and loads of tools in the other garage, so I do get a breakup of signal. It is quite a hard environment to fly in, and this was doing pretty okay. For what it was, I thought it was excellent, no problem at all. The camera, I would have preferred it to have tilted back a bit, but it's just held in there in the mount, actually into the housing there, so sure you could just push it back a wee bit, and if you needed to cut a bit and then put a little bit of hot glue in there, you could tilt it back if you wanted to. I might well do that. The idea of my review on this one was to actually say, can you go out and fly it and then learn, or if you're at a learning stage that you can fly, can you go straight onto acro? And I was a bit disappointed that we had to take it into Betaflight, but I've shown you how to do that, and it is really the simplest bit of Betaflight that you would ever need to do, and very simple. You don't have to touch anything else. I found the PIDs and the way it flew absolutely suited me fine. I've not altered anything, and I have no intention of altering anything either. It's pretty robust. I've had quite a few dinks with it around the garden. That's just what happens when you're flying, and it's done really well. There's no damage at all to it whatsoever, as far as I can see. I did notice actually when I came in to just film this bit, the prop's a little bit bent, but it hasn't altered it at all how it flies, so it obviously copes with an awful lot. If you did, I mean, they're brushed motors, so they can burn out. I haven't had any issues with this at all, but I'm just saying, if it did, a lot of them at this sort of level tend to be soldered on. This is just plug and play. So just replace your motor, You get the spare elastic bands, but you wouldn't really need it, and then just change it there, and you get, you know, little spares of everything, even the little rubber grommets supports here. The anti-vibration stuff in there was fine. So all in all, I think it's absolutely awesome, and as you can see from the FPV footage, I had a blast with it around the garden. It would fly in the house really well as well, so no problems at all there. Yeah, if this is the sort of thing you're after, or perhaps it wasn't what you were after, and now perhaps having seen it, I honestly don't think you'll be disappointed with it. I really enjoyed it.